Nick, it used to be that solo travel was considered expensive and maybe a little uncomfortable. How has that perception changed over the years?
Well, solo travel has definitely become a lot more mainstream now. There's recent surveys that have been coming out, and a lot of people are responding to these surveys saying that they feel solo travel is more mainstream. And they feel comfortable taking that plunge and going on a tour, exploring a new destination by themselves without having to worry about a companion or having to pay a single supplement or having to share a room with a stranger that they don't know.
Right, and specifically in Canada, it's going well as well.
Yeah, it's growing like crazy in Canada. It's definitely the fastest growing trend in the travel industry right now. I was just looking at Google Trends where you can search to see how many people are searching for a certain search word or a term, and solo travel alone in Canada in the last 5 years has just been an exponential increase. So more and more people, just in the last 5 years, are searching for that experience. They want to see these companies that can take them on a solo tour.
Interesting. Why do you think that is?
Well, just with more people being connected and having their cell phones and being independent on their own. We're even seeing Stats Canada came out with a study that showed 52% of Canadians are single, separated, widowed, or divorced. Mm-hmm. So it's now moving into the majority of the Canadian population that is in that demographic. So it's being mainstream and feeling that sense of freedom and being able to go and explore a new destination is something that more people are wanting to do on their own.
Interesting. And what's the benefit of a solo traveler booking with a company and operator that specializes in that type of travel?
Yeah, so a lot of people, before they take that plunge, they're thinking of safety, they're thinking of they don't know what to do when they go to a destination. So when they're going with an escorted tour operator that has these relationships with hotels and restaurants, and we have an experienced tour manager leading these people throughout the whole journey, they have that sense of safety, and all those fears are kind of taken away. The sense of loneliness is taken away when they're on a tour with other like-minded solo travelers and you're sharing meals together and you're eating with everyone. That's where you really make friends. And everybody knows that when you travel, you really make friends for life when you're on a trip with someone. So going on a tour with like-minded people and having that sense of camaraderie with these other solo travelers is really important.
And you mentioned safety. I think safety really is top of mind for a lot of solo travelers. Are you seeing any trends in terms of destinations that have a strong safety record for solo travelers?
Well, like I mentioned too, when you think of going on to a destination all on your own, safety is the first thing you think of. But Europe is definitely our most popular product, and we're starting to see a lot of people going to Europe. When we launched our exotic programs, like in Africa or in Asia, we started to see more people go there, but still Europe it's a safe place to travel to. People love it. There's history, there's culture. Our travelers they're adventurous, they're outgoing, they want to meet new people, they're interested in the history and culture. So Europe specifically kind of fits all of those things for them. Italy's been our #1 seller for the last few years, and we're really starting to see Croatia and Spain on the rise in the last year.
Great. So I think it's important for travel agents to recognize that solo does not mean single, right?
Exactly. So a lot of our travelers, 20% of our clientele is actually married. So a lot of people will have a spouse that want to go to a different destination or they want to stay home. And these people want to go on a tour and not have to share with a random person that they don't know, and they don't want to have to pay that single supplement. So they're able to choose what they want to do and when they want to do it, and go with a group of people just like them. From a survey that we did in 2018, we found that these solo travelers, they're not booking one trip a year. They're booking 2, 3, or 4+ trips per year.
Wow.
Because they're avid travelers. So when they come back from a trip, agents, don't be afraid to call them and say, where are you going next? I want to book you on your next trip. They're going more and more and more because they're feeling that it's mainstream and they've taken that plunge and they have that sense of that feeling that they're free and they're able to go and do this on their own now.
So it sounds like a very lucrative niche market for travel agents. Do you feel that they're representing this client profile?
We're starting to see more and more of it within the trade. From other surveys that I've read and different stats that I've seen, the consumer feels that the travel industry does not cater well enough to solo travelers. So when this consumer is going on your website or they're going walking by your store and they look through your window, they're not seeing that big solo branding and saying, we sell solo travel, we can do this. They feel like they have to sit at home, open up their laptop and book their tour, their hotel, their flight, all that on their own. So represent solo travel. Let them know that you can do this and you can book them on these solo tours. Put something up on your website, something in your storefront or on your social media, and just let them know that you're there for them.
And how can travel agents expand their knowledge about solo tours?
So there's tons of research out there. We see different apps like Meetup, and there's another app on statistics called Prism 5 that we use all the time with different agencies, where you can learn about that solo traveler and learn about the analytics of them. Do your research on the demographic. Find out who that solo traveler is. They love that sense of camaraderie. So a solo travel club is a perfect way for them to feel that they're part of this community, whether it's in your hometown or across the country, but they feel that they're part of this community of like-minded people that are just like them, and they want to go and explore the world with other people like them.
That sounds fantastic. Nick, thank you for sharing your insights on solo travel with us.
Thanks a lot for having me.